Welcome back, guys. Today's Wednesday, July 13th, 2011. This is Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Popeye, from federaljack.com. Check my website out. During the break, I was reading an article that I had posted earlier, but I wanted to go back and read through it to get the details for you guys as much as I could. And the title is Woman Arrested for Not Letting TSA Molest Her Daughter. This woman in Nashville in the airport was arrested because she refused to let the TSA agents grope her daughter. And she said, "You will not touch my daughter's crotch." And that's in quotes. And in fact, it's she did not want her daughter to be touched, quote, touched inappropriately or have her crotch grabbed. And she was arrested because she made a, quote unquote, fuss about it. So she stands up and says, "You are not going to molest my daughter." And they take this woman to jail. The police involved, you should all be ashamed of yourselves. I hope you guys hear this broadcast. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm an oath keeper. You guys should go look up what oath keepers are. You should be ashamed of yourselves, okay? In fact, there's a model of how cops should hold themselves on my site. If you go to Federal Jack, there's an article about how cops should actually conduct themselves and how police should handle themselves. And it's about the town over, it's called Quartzsite over in Arizona. And the police got together, and the Quartzsite Arizona Police Officers Association got together, and they actually put out a letter. And it's an outstanding representation of what an oath keeper should be and how a police officer should behave themselves. So everybody in the rest of the nation, all you cops that walk around with your badges so proudly, you should all pay attention to the Quartzsite police officers, not their scumbag police chief, Jeff Gilbert, who thinks he's God. The guy should be arrested for treason, and he should be tried and put in jail for life for the things that he's done, along with the scumbag city council out there. And since I'm not in your city, I don't have to fear any repercussions from you. So I have a First Amendment right. This is America. So Chief Jeff Gilbert, you're a criminal and a traitor, and you should be locked up, and so should the rest of the city council of Quartzsite, Arizona, for arresting your civilians for speaking at a city council meeting. What are you guys taking lessons from Myron Rosner, the former mayor of North Miami Beach, who called the FBI on me for speaking at city council meetings? You people are out of control. Chief Jeff Gilbert apparently is referred to as the Christ and Messiah-like by the local establishment media. The only woman, Jennifer Jones, who has the balls to start her own alternative media about what's going on out there, she's the one that gets arrested and harassed and everything else. And now they declare martial law because, InfoWars had an article about it, and the Intel Hub had an article about it, and We Are Change had an article about it. I reposted Alex Thomas's article from the Intel Hub, which was the first article out there about this whole thing. And it went viral, and and then people were calling up Alex Jones's show because she went on Alex Jones's show, and people were emailing from all over saying, "Hey, you guys are corrupt. You guys should be locked up." And they felt threatened. They felt threatened because they got emails. "Oh God, Lordy Lord, we got emails. We got to have martial law." I mean, that's the way these morons think. They're cowards. The rats are backed into a corner, and they're acting like it. And then you have this Nazi-like police chief and officers that work for him. I think it's something like 85 or 90% of the officers in the police department have told him that they're not going to follow unconstitutional orders. And that's where this letter is. I have it posted from Scribd. You can download it and keep it. It's on federaljack.com. It's under Quartzsite, Arizona Police Officers Association letter regarding Police Chief Jeff Gilbert. And I'll throw it into the chat room for everybody in the chat in case they want to see it. But it's just unbelievable that we're allowing this to happen. We're allowing this to happen in our country. How are people not pissed off about this? They're making, Kennedy said, and this is paraphrasing because I don't quite remember it word for word, but basically if you make, peaceful revolution impossible, you make violent revolution inevitable. And that's what they're doing because they already have the camp set up. They want people to start acting up and getting pissed off and to riot. This is like a big version of kettling. They're letting everybody sit and stew and hang out. And they're going to start to let people burn cars here and there, and then they're going to come in and kettle everybody. And that's when they're going to start rounding people up. You're going to start to see, protests, and you'll see the real police kettling where they do come in and, they literally kettle people into a corner. They box them in, and then they you have the black bloc agent provocateurs running around, causing problems, doing nefarious deeds, doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Okay? They're doing this on purpose, people. We need to stand up now while we can. Obama's trying to write executive orders. Well, you know what? The Congress won't tackle the Second Amendment. I'll just do it by executive order. You can't. Well, I'm the president. That doesn't matter if you're the president. The president is nothing more than the friggin' store manager. That's all he is. He's just the store manager. His job is realistically, as it was created by the founders, the president was only supposed to, make sure everything ran smoothly in government, and he's in charge of the military. He keeps an eye on them, and he can, he can call them up with Congress's approval and send them to war. Okay? That's the way it's supposed to work. We don't have that anymore. Apparently, we don't need Congress. You don't need the Supreme Court. It's whatever the person in the presidency says. And it's not about Obama. People don't get lost in this and think, well, it's about Obama because, when Bush or, don't think that the opposite. No, don't get lost in that crap. It's not about Bush. It's not about Obama. It wasn't about Clinton. It wasn't about Bush Sr. It's about the office of the presidency. It's about making that vehicle, that tool, and turning it into an empirical police state. Like it's like watching the last three Star Wars movies when they're all sitting there in the Senate and she says, what's her name? Luke's mom, when she was younger, she says, so this is how I think she says this is how democracy dies, with a thunderous applause or something to that effect. Well, that's what's happening, except we don't have a democracy. It's a republic, a free republic. This was set up to keep us free from these BS laws and the BS, court system that's controlled by admiralty law and the queen herself, Miss Lizard Lips. Okay, why are we beholden to all this? Why are we allowing this to happen? You know why we're having so many earthquakes all over the planet? I'll tell you why. Because the founding fathers are doing 360s in their graves right now. That's why we're having earthquakes. You shouldn't worry about the New Madrid fault line collapse. You actually, if this keeps up, you should, because they're rolling over in their graves. It's going to get faster and faster and faster, and that'll cause the New Madrid fault line to crack. Okay, people, seriously. For real. The founding fathers would be up in arms if they were alive about this. Are you kidding me? Jefferson would be looking at everybody going, really? This is what you're doing with what we gave you. We gave you a gift that nobody else in the history of this world was ever given, and you people are just handing it away because you're too fat and lazy and dependent and scared. Or you just don't care about anything and you're out for your own self. And I have no respect for people like that either. I'm not saying that we have to become a communist state or anything like that, but I have no respect for people that don't think about others. We are one race, the human race. Maybe if we all started acting like that, we could progress and do other things like, check out outer space, the rest of the ocean, which we haven't even barely checked out. We're going to break. We're going to break. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Go check out OrionTalkRadio.com. The network's new site. Check it out. It's stranger than fiction, but they don't even show the truth when soldiers are missing. I'm only trying to show the truth.